seventh version in 2 weeks, rather than an offer to purchase, because the purchase agreement will be so long and so complicated that it takes some time to produce it. And we had started down that road back on the 20th of February with an offer to purchase. The problem being, by the time you decide why is this period here and not over here, and why is the comma there, and what does it mean to you, we would never get this done in time. So collectively, our negotiating team with the Nordic and Allied agreed that perhaps the better way to do it was a two-step process, the first being a letter of intent. And so that's what we've signed. That letter of intent includes a couple things. First and foremost, you have to understand that it outlines the very principles by which the offer of agreement, sale, and purchase of assets will come to play. We have agreed on a $35 million price tag, excuse me, less the $2.25 million deposit that we put down on it, and any interest that it accrues because it's in trust. The reason it's $35 million is you got to have a willing seller and a willing buyer, and that's what we come to. But importantly for you, it's a $35 million offer against an operating business. That's why we're running this year. We're not subsidizing operations. There's no money going in this to support Nordic Gaming and their losses. This is a capital venture that we've engaged with. If we can buy the track, we get it discounted from the purchase price and we move forward. But there's a thing called earnest money, and to stop them from going out for 90 days and looking for buyers or to sell it or to do other things with it, we have 90 days in which to develop a business plan, do our due diligence, and it's exclusive. After 90 days, then I guess we still have some time, but we would have the same amount of time and opportunity as anybody else out there. But right now, we command the situation by agreement with Nordic and Allied, that if we can come up with a rationale, if we can come up with the money, we can buy the track. So you say, where are we going to get that money from? Well, last time we were on the 20th, especially the press will remember this, we were offering $3.2 million, provided the province gave it to us. Well, I've done half, but we still managed to muster $2.25 million, and Nordic agreed to do it for us. Now, they will take a hit of at least $1 million this year, and I think everybody needs to know and recognize that that's a commitment on their part. A lot of people, it's amazing through this whole exercise how there's about 6 of us that are engaged in closed sessions on both sides of the table collectively. And we get phone calls from 50, 60 people a day telling us they're absolutely certain we don't know what we're talking about, but they do. Well, and those are great rumor mills, but they're not factual. And the facts are Nordic is committed to seeing us race, they're committed to seeing us try to get this venture done, and they're not the bad guys. They're just people trying to make a business. Doesn't look like they can given the circumstances, so they've got to do something just like you and I do. So again, it's unfortunate it's taken so long to get here, but you will not see us back step. We have been very careful that we are going forward, and that's why we've had to take the time that we did. So we issued a $2.25 million non-refundable deposit as earnest money on the offer. If we don't execute this deal, they keep it. As Sue Leslie has said, it has to be an operating track. All they had to do that was release the condition that was applied to their race date application. Once the condition was taken off, and that was accomplished around 3 o'clock yesterday, then the race date application is pending. It's approved by the ORC, and it goes back to the normal racing year. So we do have 78 days under the terms that we normally would have, which is you got to have good meets, you got to have the horse population, you got to have everybody committed to this. So we're going to need everybody's help to do that. We have full access to due diligence, and that means we're going to be looking at books. We're going to be bringing in our third-party consulting firm, accountants and specialists that will take a look at what the operations are all about, what the past is, what the current situation is financially, and they're going to be working with us to develop models. So we need all your ideas. I heard a great one today. After all this time, I didn't know that this turf track is unique in the whole area. So maybe that's a competitive advantage. That's a good thing to know. We will look at that now. So those are the types of things that if you can get to us quickly, next week or two, we will integrate into the planning cycle with the consultants to take a look at that. We have to come up with a financially viable plan. If we do, then Nordic will take back a mortgage for the balance of the $35 million. Now, taking back the mortgage doesn't mean a whole lot unless we can afford to pay for it, and they're not going to take it back from just us. So they will be looking for a loan guarantee, which means we will have to either present to a financial institution or to the province a viable business plan, and we intend to do that. So, and the next steps are, I'd be pleased to announce that we have formed the Fort Erie Thoroughbred Racing Consortium. That is the current name that we're using, doing business as, for the not-for-profit corporation. The board of directors is comprised of Sue Leslie from the HBPA, Nick Gonzalez. We have Harry Schlang, the CAO of the town of Fort Erie, Chief Administrative Officer. We have the chairman of the Economic Development Corporation, Claude Filato, and myself, CEO and General Manager. And Sue is the pro tem chairman of the new corporation, and I'm the pro tem CEO. So there is now an entity, and we are able to move. Up to now, we haven't been able to talk to Woodbine. We haven't been able to represent ourselves as an organization to the province or to anybody else. But as of today, we have that authority and that right, and we'll be moving on that very quickly. The entire agreement has an assignment clause in it, and that assignment clause means that the EDTC, which is fronting this whole exercise and doing it because it's our convenience to be able to do that. We have the ability to do that. It will eventually be assigned to the Fort Erie Thoroughbred Racing Consortium, and then they're off and running on their own when they're capable of doing that. So you can look at the EDTC as kind of helping them pledge. We have the resources to do these things, the skill sets and the business acumen, and the consortia has agreed to do it that way. It makes sense for everybody, and the Economic Development Corporation has committed additional funds to pay for consulting studies and due diligence. Can't tell you how much, because if I did, then I'm pretty sure the consultant's proposal will come in for $1 less than that. So you have to bear with it, but it is considerable money. We have to pay for quality, we have to pay for